Welcome back, friends. So we are still on our CorelDRAW color psychology class. So I believe you are enjoying the first part of our color psychology in CorelDRAW. Right. So let's move on to another segment of our color psychology. So what I'm going to do now is that I will delete this. Then we can now go back to our tools bar again. So we can select this rectangle now. Then we press down Control key and draw our perfect rectangle. Then we can drag, we can right click, press down Control key and drag to make a perfect duplicate. Then from this point we can select copy here. Then we can press Control D, Control D. So I need this in 4 places, right? So now what we are trying to do now is that we want to know the difference between CMYK and RGB color. So like I said earlier, I said CMYK is when you are doing the print graphics, while RGB is when you are doing a web graphic. All right. So we're going to use these two. Let me select these two. We'll call these so Control J. So let me group these two also. Control J. Then I'll press Shift key and select the first one here. I will press C to just this. When you press C, it's just that you are trying to align to the center of the same shape. Then I'll go to my Home tab here. I will group. Then I'll press P to centralize. I just take it up a little bit. So now I will call this. I will go back to my tools bar now. I'll select my text tools. So I will call the top one here RGB color. I'll put it here. Then I will make a duplicate of this text. How do we do that? I will right click. Then I will press down Control key and drag. Then I will select copy here. So I will change this one to CMYK. Right. So I will align the text together, Shift key and click on the RGB. Then I'll press L. This simply means that I'm trying to align to the left. So now you will see the difference now. Now this one is our RGB. So let me ungroup everything by go to my Home tab to ungroup. So I'll select this again. I'll go back to my Home tab to ungroup. So likewise the CMYK box here and ungroup. So now the RGB here, I will start with blue. Let's take blue now. So this is primary blue for CMYK, right? We are making mistake. So this is CMYK box, and this is CMYK color palette, right? So I will select blue for my CMYK. If you look at the color code and color property, we have 100% cyan, we have 100% magenta, we have 0 yellow and 0 black. Now let's go back to our RGB color palette. So this is our RGB color. Okay, this is CMYK. Okay, this is our RGB color palette here. So when you see RGB, it's going to write the figure. So you will see that this is RGB and this is CMYK. Each time you take your mouse there, it's going to signify. So this is the primary blue of our RGB, right? If I select it, now you see the beautiful difference here. So this is RGB, this is CMYK. So whenever you are trying to make your design, it is always advisable that if you are doing a print graphic, make sure you select CMYK. If you are doing a web graphic, make sure you select RGB. This is because if you made a mistake for in your layout when you are trying to do your graphic, which is the first step in any design. If you made a mistake, maybe you want to do a print graphic and you now use web graphic color, you are going to have a very poor graphic when you print the job out. Or if you are trying to do a web graphic and you use print layout setting, you are going to have a very poor output of graphic when you put it online. So you need to take note of this, very much important. So all right, so let's take a look at how a variety of color in this regard. So we go back to our CMYK, just like how we did it in the last class. So we go back to the blue now, we click done. So this is the one we are working with now. It's already active. So if we are to select the second one next to it, so you are going to see the figure. Now, the cyan here is 100, magenta is 99. Now we have yellow value and we have black value to be 11, yellow to be 20. So if we click on the primary blue here, you see the difference here. So cyan 100, magenta 100, yellow 0, and black is 0, right? So let's take a look at how it happened in RGB. So this is our RGB palette, right? So in this regard, this is the blue we are working on. So if we click down and select this next one to the blue here, oh, sorry, Control Z. So we have to select this now. Then we go back to the RGB palette. So if we click down, then we have to select the next color to it. Now you see the difference here. So RGB is telling us here that our red is 0, our green is 0, then our B is 220 value. So the B simply means blue. G simply means green. Okay, B simply means black, sorry. G simply means green. R simply means 0. Simply means red. So don't misquote me. R is red, G is green, then B is black, right? So if we are to see the primary blue, you see here, we have our red to be 0, our green to be 0, then our black is 255. Why the figure is not the same in this regard. Here we have our red to be 0, our green to be 0, then our black to be 220. So this is how you know the difference between CMYK and RGB color code in CorelDRAW, right? So let me select everything, then I'll group, then I press P to centralize. Right? So let's take a look at how you obtain color from nature in CorelDRAW.